time, you gather up the pieces. Tender compassion, one stitch at a time. Oh, tender love, oh, tender love.
My name is Monica Romero. I was born June 14, 1980 in Panama. My mom had me out of wedlock. My mom didn't really want me because there was no way of taking me back to her husband. He was looking at child me. So once she couldn't find a buyer, she took me to her mom's. And her mom, which is my grandma, tied me to a tree because she can't handle it. And she didn't want to handle it. It wasn't her problem. Out there, cold, I'm pretty sure birds pooped on me. Nobody came to feed me. Nobody came to give me water. Nobody cared that I was outside. Eventually, Dr. Romero in Panama, he bought me from my grandma because him and his wife were not able to have kids. His wife, at a young age, had gotten in an accident. Her reproductive system was hurt. They tried to have babies. They couldn't have babies. Then he had been approached by my mother, so he paid my grandma money. He then told me the story of when he took me to the hospital. I was dehydrated. He was so scared when he saw me because he thought my eye was gashed out. They adopted me in '82, and in '84, his wife, Rosa, was able to have a baby. So that's when my first sister was born, Rebecca. As she was born, everything became different. I was no longer the interest. I was nobody. I was less than the dog. I wasn't even someone that they cared about. They started mistreating me. Then my second sister came and it was totally gone. Like there was no more Monica. There was no more let's get shoes for Monica, let's get food for Monica. It was let's get food for Rebecca and Briseida. With their kids, their blood. Whether I ate or not, whether I slept good, whether I had good clothes, whether I was warm, it was not their problem anymore. They had 2 children. There was nobody there for me. There's also the physical abuse. My dad cracked my skull one time. He is a doctor, so he sewed me. My mom did whip me with wire, so it was bad. My mom's mom, she lived with us, so she was more of the verbal abuse. Called me names. I was an idiot. I was not their blood. I was a waste of time. That there was no reason why her daughter needed to adopt me. She was going to have kids anyways. And the minute that she had her kids, she should have just given me back to my country. So I was coming home from school one day and I just started hearing voices talking. As I got closer to that door, I heard my grandma, my dad, and my mom talking. I heard my grandma say, just give her back. We don't have to keep her. And my parents saying, we will take her back. And I realized that who they were taking back was me. So now it made sense. It made sense why they would hurt me in ways that you should never hurt a kid. They purchased me in Panama and it brought me to Mexico. So everything I just mentioned happened in Mexico. Then came the time where my parents wanted to go to America, came to America, but the treatment was still there. Mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. So I ran away from home. My homeless experience started. I had to find a way to eat. I remember one time I seen a guy throw away his Jack in the Box. It had a whole hamburger in there. I was super hungry, so I went to go get it and I ate the hamburger. He had some fries left, so I ate that too. There was places that I needed to find to go to sleep. Under a tree, sometimes I would go to the park, but during the night, when it gets night, you're not able to sleep because you don't know what's coming around the corner. In the nights, in the darkness, bad things happen. There's people harassing you. There's rain. And it snows. It's so cold, you can't even sleep. The concrete is so cold. The rain, you're soaking wet. The floor is wet. So many things from being homeless. Being homeless, I wanted a different life. I knew someone in Albuquerque and she offered to put me in her house. So I started my journey here in Albuquerque. I went to school for criminal justice and I got associates of criminal justice. And I worked as a security guard. The parking lot I was taking care of for jail guards in BCDC. When I started there, several of the COs asked me that I should apply. So I applied and that's how my adventure in corrections started. I worked for BCDC, the old building downtown, which became RCC. Then after RCC, I went to Sandoval County. I met someone like a Prince Charming. And so I became very infatuated with him. It was a wonderful thing. But what a lot of people didn't know is that he used drugs. He was a heroin addict. I believed every time when he said he was going to change. There was abuse. There was a humiliation. And I let him abuse me. I let him hit me. I started doing drugs, but I kept working. And sometimes you can't do both. So finally, I got hit. He came into the bathroom. He punched me. I saw the blood running down my eye. I had a broken rib, and I just left. I left him. I went to the streets, and again I was homeless. Except this time it was different. I got raped. In the darkness came a man that thought was a nice man, and he just raped me. And I didn't know what to do. You know, like it was raining, it was cold, and I didn't know like where to go. In my mind, I wanted to run away. In my mind, I wanted to just be somewhere else, but it was there. I had to stay there, and he just continued raping me, and I just didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do, and I just needed to numb the pain. I needed to forget all that. I needed to forget what had happened. All that made me go into a big bench of drug use, you know, heroin, methamphetamines, everything I could find. For 2 years I was in the streets. For 2 years I kept using. For 2 years I didn't know how to stop. I had an incident in corrections that led me to leave the job. I had a white supremacist who wanted to fight and did not want to lock down. So when I was trying to handcuff him, my knees hit the concrete and my kneecap actually went up. Had a torn meniscus, now I have arthritis. Not only was I homeless, but now I don't have a job. I don't have anything. I didn't have a family. I didn't have a place to stay, and I didn't have anybody to love me, only God. So that's when I realized that I needed to go to recovery. I needed to get myself well because he still had a purpose for me. So I inquired about Darren's Place. I went there and I did the recovery for Darren's Place. One of the resources that was given to me was that of TenderLove. So I come to TenderLove. People are busy and they're running back and forth. So there's a lot of programs in TenderLove. Trust me, I wanted to take advantage of all of them to keep myself busy. I started off with sewing, how to do a quilt. Then I started making pillows. So I made a great pillow for myself. During the week, also come how to be able to eat the right things, you know, keep our calories down. Then we did a little exercise. Then came different banks. Came to teach us financial responsibility, how to take out a loan, how to do this. There's inspirational classes, you know? So they teach us how to be inspirational to ourselves and others. Further on, I became part of the CHW class, which is the community health care worker. We get fed also, we get lunches, all these programs at TenderLove. Everything was turning good. I was so excited because for the first time in my life, I had purpose. The purpose was me. The purpose was to get Monica better. You know, I complete the program and look for a job, went out there, and I don't know if it was that nothing compared to TenderLove. Yeah, I had a job, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't something that you wake up and you say, oh my God, I gotta get to work, I gotta do this, and it wasn't. So I called Dr. Johnson and I asked if I could come back. It was during Christmas. And she said for me to come to Christmas party. So I came to the Christmas party, and as I'm sitting there, I see different staff. I see different people, all the clients, and I tell myself, this is where I want to be. Because the energy here is so different than any other place. So I finally had a meeting with Dr. Johnson. So I said, I've been clean this whole time. I was surprised when she turned around and said, how about I just offer you a job? She felt that she needed someone that has the street experience, the homeless experience, the domestic violence experience, the addict experience, the many experiences that I have had that I thought were negative. She let me know that it's very valuable and she can use it. And I continued working for a whole year as a case manager. Later, Dr. Debbie calls me into her office and lets me know that I've been doing a great job, that her data shows that the recovery house is successful. You're doing such a great job. I have so many people complimenting you. How about I make you a project manager? Since you know those two programs so well, there's one thing that Dr. Debbie tells me all the time, and she doesn't care about people's past. She only cares about the future. I take that because I'm only about the future. So now I've been sober for 2.5 years. I've been working for TenderLove for a whole year, and I want to thank all the sponsors of this program, everybody that donates to TenderLove. I want to thank everyone, because without you, there wouldn't be me, and without you, there would be no TenderLove. And if there was no TenderLove, there wouldn't be me.
Tender compassion, one stitch at